Good evening, everybody. We are not fresh off the Oasis. We've been home for a week.
Well,
So,
I'll give it a minute here and see if. There we go. I'll give it a minute here and see if.
good evening, everybody.
Good evening, everybody.
So, we were just wanting to talk to people about what we did.
Wanting to talk to people about what we did. How do I?
We are having some technical difficulties.
Yeah. We are having some technical difficulties. Yeah.
This is feeding into it.
Yeah, I know.
Click on the screen, right click on it, and then turn it down there. Mute that. Mute that. There you go. Okay.
Does that work?
Yeah, but it stopped. Okay, there we go. I think
Maybe
that
that
worked. We had some background noise going on there. So, this is our very first time going live, so we're experiencing stuff that we're not sure how to handle, but we will try to take it as we go. Jeff and I are joining you from our living room in the frigid Michigan winter, which is horrible compared to where we were 2 weeks ago. But we just wanted to talk a little bit about what we did. I don't know, like cruising now after COVID. We went in August, and that was a little different because it was just the beginning of the startup. So now with the new COVID outbreaks and the mask mandates on the ship, it was a little different for us. So we just wanted to let people know what it was like for us. So we drove from Michigan to Miami, and we just actually were very diligent. We made sure that anytime we went into a gas station or a restaurant or anything, we wore our masks, even if they were mandated or not. We washed our hands, we sanitized, and we ate in our vehicle when we could, just to avoid crowds and being out in public. And we did a self test before we left because it was a 2 day drive for us. So we took COVID tests on Tuesday to make sure that we were good to go on Thursday for our drive. And then we also took the COVID test that the cruise ship requires in the hotel room. So some issues we had with the COVID tests in the hotel rooms were cell phones ringing in while we were trying to take the tests on our phone. So if you have a way to put your phone on do not disturb, then I would suggest doing it. And if you are with more than one person, you each have to take it individually. So you can't take it as a group. So each person needs to take it, but you need to do it one at a time. We tried to do one person in one part of our hotel room and another person like in the bathroom, but the echo from the bathroom and the echo from mine interfered with them. It made them difficult to hear. So our suggestion is just to take the time to do them one at a time.
Yep.
And something else to note is on your COVID test box, we ordered ours from Royal Caribbean. There is a QR code on the front of that box that tells you to download an app that will come in handy. You need it later for the test. So my suggestion to you is to download the app before you even go and get it all set up because it requires some setup and it takes some time. So my suggestion is to scan that QR code and get that ready to go. So when you do go to take your test, it's all in there and it's all ready to go. I don't know. Anything to add to that?
Yeah, just try to make sure you don't have, when you do your test, make sure you don't have like any disruptions or anything like that during. I'll put out a video of what happened when I did mine because I actually had a phone call come in like right in the middle of it and it completely disconnected the call, the everything. I thought I was going to have to do a complete another test and everything like that, but I ended up getting them back online, and they, they said, all right, where did we lose you at? Where did it disconnect at? And I told them where we were at, and they just kind of picked up from there. So,
But we were fortunate that it hadn't started the test yet, because
Yeah.
if the test is started and you lose connection, you have to start all over again. Which brings us to another point. Have an extra COVID test for each person you're traveling with.
yeah, definitely have extras, and we had a few extras with us. So just in case, you never know what's going to happen. Definitely make sure you have extra tests.
So that was one thing we wanted to talk about. And the other part was, like I said, driving from Michigan to Miami. We were very diligent and made sure we stayed safe and clean. Now, we did hang out in Miami at the Bayside Marketplace, which I would suggest anybody do if they're in
Yeah.
Miami and you're leaving out of Miami and that's something you want to do. Bayside Marketplace was fun. It is busy and it's crowded. So we wore our masks, even though you do not have to wear them because it is outside. We wore them anyway, just because it is busy, it is crowded, there's a lot of people there. We wanted to make sure that we got on that cruise ship, so we made sure we were safe.
Yep. Yeah, just make sure you're safe with. We tried to stay away from people as much as possible, which, it was busy over there. I did do a video on that's already posted, so you can check that out. It shows, a lot of stuff to do there, and it also shows, quite a bit of the crowd that was there when we were there too. So
It was a
check
lot of
that
fun.
one out, and then,
Definitely suggest it.
yeah, it's definitely a good time right there.
Yeah.
So
Bayside Marketplace was
something
fun.
to do, the night before or whatever. There's, restaurants, there's bars, there's, shopping, whatever you want to do, it's there,
Yeah.
So
Nice
definitely,
little place to visit, hang out. It's very cool.
yeah, definitely a lot of stuff to do there.
So, and then that brought us to something else to remind everybody about. That if you happen, this is part of the reason that Bayside Marketplace came into play for two reasons. One, we were close to Miami. We stayed in Miami. We wanted to go. But the next day, we got an email from Royal Caribbean telling us that they were taking extra time to extra sanitize the ship, and nobody was going to be allowed on. Everything was delayed 2 hours. So if your check-in time was 10, you were not allowed to check in until 12. And I just wanted to make a point to tell you that if this happens to you, follow it, because they will not let you even in the parking garage. We tried to at least hang out in the parking garage because our check-in time was originally 12:30. It got pushed to 2:30, so we were just gonna park in the parking garage and hang out. Wouldn't even let us in the parking garage. So we went back to Bayside Marketplace for the day and hung out for a couple of hours until we could get in the parking garage.
Yeah.
So if they tell you, if you get an email telling you that they're taking extra time to sanitize and their time is pushed back, they're going to push it back. You are not going to get in there early. So, and honestly, it actually made it kind of nice because they had lines outside for each time slot that everybody was supposed to check in, and they took all the people that were before us first. So anybody who was like 10:30 to 12 definitely got on first, and then the next group. And it is crowded standing out there in those lines, so that, another reason to not bother getting there too early, get there at your time. And we got right on it. I think the longest wait was maybe waiting in the security line to have them check bags. They only had like 6 lanes open and lots of people coming through.
Yeah, but it doesn't really seem like it even took that long
No.
for that.
Maybe 15 minutes.
Yeah,
It just seems
gonna
like
say.
forever because you're just excited to get on. Ooh, another thing. If you're traveling in a group, we had a group of 5. If you're traveling in a group, be sure to know that you are going to get separated at some point in there. They're going to take, like, we were a group of 3 and a group of 2, but we were all together a group of 5. But they would take the 3 of us and then the other 2, and we ended up getting separated so many times. in the checkout. So in the check-in process. So just know that at some point you're probably going to get separated from your group. They don't let you stand around and wait. We tried to stand off to the side and they were like, nope, you have to keep moving. You have to keep moving. So just know that once you get through all the security points and that hallway that you kind of stand in before you start walking onto the ramp that gets onto the ship, in that little hall, you can stand and wait there. But in the security area where they're checking bags and pushing people through the line and checking passports, they will not let you stand and wait. So just something else to know, that if you get separated, there is a point where you can stand and wait for the rest of your group to catch up. But it won't be in the secure area. They won't let you.
Yeah, right. So yeah, but once we get on the ship, you know, everything was fine. Right now, you still have to wear your mask everywhere on the ship when you're inside, not necessarily when you're outside. It just depends on the crowd, depends on how crowded it is, how busy it is. But everywhere inside, yes, you need to wear a mask.
And it was not annoying. I mean,
No,
we found it fine. It was, you know, like any place else, pretty much. You know, I mean, it wasn't horrible. There are signs all over the place that say no more than 6 to an elevator. We used the stairs a lot just to avoid elevators, but if we were going from, say, like the 6th or 7th floor all the way up to 16, then we took the elevator. And for the most part, I would say 99.9% of the people on board respect the mask mandate. They respect the elevator, you know, number of people in the elevator. If we saw somebody with 4 and obviously there's 5 of us, we didn't cram on. We're like, nope, we'll wait for the next one, you know, and other people were the same way. There were a couple of people, I don't know their reasoning, but thought that I guess they're in the elevator, they don't have to wear a mask. To me, that's kind of annoying. I mean, I'm doing my part, everybody else is doing their part, so I don't know why they thought they didn't have to wear one. I'm not the kind of person who's going to say, hey, you shouldn't be on the elevator, you don't have a mask on, but, you know, I just didn't say anything, just
I mean,
let
it
it
is what
go.
it is. You know,
You always got a
you
few.
got people that won't follow the rules. You know, just like, you know, no matter where you're at. You know, people don't want to follow the rules. It's just the way it is. You know, you see
You're always
people
going to have a few.
see people walking around the ship. You know, on the inside that don't have a mask on, and you know, and to be fair, it could be, we don't know their situation.
No.
It could be a medical reason why they're not
Could
wearing
be.
their mask or something like that. So I don't want to, you know, say, hey, you know,
Yeah.
you should wear a mask, but there
So
could be a
just
reason
remember,
why they're not wearing a
yeah,
mask.
just remember
So,
at least you have one on, so you're, you know, you're doing your part. Just don't be one of those ones that doesn't follow the rules. It's nice when everybody follows the rules.
yeah, it just makes you feel a little safer. You know, you see everybody else with a mask on. You know, you're wearing your mask, and you know whether it does any good or not, who knows? They say it does, but who knows? But you know,
So, and then some other things that we did. As soon as we get on the ship, we always sanitize our room anyway. Even though they said they sanitized it, I go through with either Lysol wipes or Lysol spray, and I spray doorknobs, light switches, the phone, you know, anything that you're going to touch, the handles to the drawers, anything pretty much. And, you know, it's just an extra security measure for us. So, you know, we felt fine. But all together, overall, we had to say that we felt pretty safe. Royal Caribbean did keep the ship clean. Every time I pretty much turned around, there was always somebody sanitizing the handrails, going up and down the stairs. There was always people sanitizing the bathrooms. So, you know, I honestly felt safer there than I do in the grocery store here at home. So, you know, it's not as horrible as everybody makes it out to be. And, you know, just be realistic and don't think that it's just, you know, the way that it used to be, because it's not. Stay away from crowds you don't know. Like if you sit in the theater or something, they do tell you to try to, you know, sit, like, leave 2 seats between you and the next group. So, you know, for the most part, and they're not sailing at full capacity right now, so nothing is overly crowded.
it's just kind of common sense, you know. Just,
Yeah.
I mean, try not to squeeze in and sit right next to somebody, you know, or
Yeah.
whatever. You know, leave a space in between you, or you know, just try to you know, just keep yourself safe, whatever you feel comfortable with, you know, and try and think about, you know, the other people. All right, do they? I mean, the elevators are crowded, you know, 4 or 5 people. I think they had it posted.
Oh, 6,
Five.
no more than 6.
Yeah, 5 or 6 people, or your own group.
Yeah.
So if there's more than 6 people or 5 or 6 people on there or whatever, we're just like, you know, we'll wait for the next one, or we take the stairs a lot, you know, which is not bad, depending on where we were going. You know, if we were only going a couple, 2 or 3 floors, we would always take the stairs. If you're going from the bottom to the top, then you know,
it's another story.
then you take an elevator. So
going down ain't so bad. Going up is hard.
Yeah. Going down is easy. So if you're going from, you know, the top down to the bottom, or you know, down 6 or 7 flights, you know, it's not that big of a deal. It wasn't to us anyhow. And I know some people would have issues with that also, but
yeah, obviously.
Yeah,
you know,
if you're able to take the stairs, you know, take the stairs. Leave the elevators for people that really need them. So,
and then I guess moving on from there, we can just talk about our cruise in general. So we were on Royal Caribbean's Oasis of the Seas, and we went to Perfect Day at Coco Cay, and we went to Cozumel, Roatan, Honduras, and Costa Maya.
Yep.
So we had a great time in all the ports. It is what you make it, you know. I mean, we were on the South Beach at Perfect Day at Coco Cay, and there's honestly, it's a long hike back there. You can take the tram. We opted to walk it, but it was actually a nice little area back there. I kind of wish that they would make that like an adults only area. It's way back off the beaten path back there, and I don't know, there really is no adults only area. And it's not that I'm against anybody who has kids, but sometimes, you know, you just have all adults around, and you know, you're just having a good time, and you want to be sure that you're not throwing out anything that you don't want kids to hear, or you know, whatever. So, and there was a bar, there is a floating bar right off of the South Beach area, and they were getting kind of rowdy over there. You could hear them out in the water, so it's not like they were being quiet. So, but you know, every once in a while it's nice just to have a place where adults can hang out. We had books, we were reading and walking the beach, and but you know, it's quiet back there. There's no music back there, but it is a nice little place. I actually enjoyed it. The last time we were at Coco Cay, we actually spent our day by the pool. So this was a switch. So, and we enjoyed it. Everybody in our group enjoyed it. It was a good time. And then, let's see, what did we do? One of the things to remember before we get too far into the ports is, if you want to see shows or any of the shows, book them as soon as you get on the ship. You should already have the Royal Caribbean app downloaded to your phone, because that app will get you all set up. So before you get to the port, you have everything in order and everything that you need, and all they need to do is scan 2 little things on your phone, zip, zip, and you're done.
Yeah.
So make sure you have the app downloaded to your phone before you go.
I think it says, I think they say it's required that you download it. And I'm sure there's still some people that don't have a smartphone or whatever that don't download it, or
I did
whatever
see
the
people
case
with
may
paper.
be. But you can still print it out, and they can still scan it and everything that way. It's just a lot easier with your phone.
And the thing with the app too, like I was gonna say, when you get on the ship, one of the first things you need to do is make sure you book any of the shows that you want to see, because they do require a reservation, and if you wait too long into the week, you may not get to see some of the shows that you really want to see.
Yeah.
So just beware of that. That's probably one of the first things that you want to do. Make sure you get done.
Especially when they start sailing full again.
Yeah.
You know, now it was I don't know, it's probably a little more than half full, probably 60% or something maybe when we were on. So we We went to one show that we didn't even have reservations for, and they just kind of wait till the last minute and then they let you in if they have availability, you know. So
Yeah.
right now it's not a big deal, but
When
yeah,
they
you
start
definitely
going,
yeah
yeah.
start sailing with more people, then you definitely want to um, have reservations for the shows.
So let's see. Let's go back to our port. So we talked about Coco Cay, Perfect Day Coco Cay, and then the next day we were at Cozumel, and we spent the day at Mr. Sancho's. That was awesome. Thank you, fellow vloggers, that let us know about that because we had the best time. This is like one of our top things to do now in Cozumel when we go back. I mean, it is absolutely the funnest day I have had in Cozumel in a long time, and it was so
Yeah.
worth it.
Yeah, it was a good time. I mean, it's and it's it's a nice beach.
Yeah.
It's drinks are included, food's included. So
We found out that kayaking was included. Lounge chairs along the beach were included. I think about the only thing that was not included was they have like the floaty things in the water that you can jump on. That was an extra charge. But pretty much everything was included. It's not a bad deal. It was a $5 deposit per person, and then we paid the $55 balance per. So it's $60 per person, but it is all day. They make sure they get you. All you have to do is get a taxi outside the port there, and they will take you there. And they definitely make sure that you are back on time.
yeah,
And that $60 includes food and drinks all day long, as much as you want. Just remember to be nice to your attendants. As long as they are treating you well, treat them well before you leave. They depend on those tips. So.
yeah.
And we had Hector and Bogar, and they were very awesome. They kept an eye on our table for us while we hung out in the pool 90% of the day. and but they treated us well. They brought us drinks, they brought us food. Never had to wait for them to come around, never had to go looking for them. They were always right there, asking if we needed anything else. Two of the nicest guys that could possibly wait on you. So just remember, as long as they treat you well, to treat them well.
Yeah. So yeah, that was a good time. We had a good time in Cozumel. So, and the taxi ride, there was 5 of us that took a taxi, and it was $25 for all 5 of us.
Yeah.
So I don't know what it's like if there's only a couple of you. It's probably.
I don't know. I wouldn't even dare to guess right now, but I will tell you this. If you have more than 6 people in your group, probably, you are not all going to get in one cab. They just do not allow it. They only allow the maximum amount that fits per seat belt. So, there's no extra crowding in there right now. And they do make you sanitize your hands before you get in, and they make you sanitize your hands when you get out.
Yeah. And they may have bigger vans or whatever that'll accommodate a larger crowd.
But
as long as it's your own party, probably.
Yeah. But I don't even think, like, if you had 12 people in your party, you're not all going to get in one cab.
No, you would.
You're just not. So there's no reason to even, like, fight about it or think about it. I mean, you're only going to get the amount of people, because they do not let anybody sit in the front seat anymore either. That seat is off limits. Right. So you can only count the seating spots that have seat belts for the rest of the vehicle.
Yep.
So just keep that in mind. But it was not bad. Like we said, it was $25 one way and $25 back. So about $10 per person for there and back, which isn't bad.
Yeah. No, so it's pretty cheap getting over there and back also. So yeah, we had a really good time.
It was awesome.
Yep. And then our next port after that, where did we? That
Roatan.
was Roatan. Yeah.
Roatan. We've been to Roatan, Honduras twice. That being our second time. The first time we did the Brews and Views tour, and that was awesome. So we opted to do that again. and yeah,
Yeah, it's called like Island.
Views
or-
and Brews, Island Views and
Yeah,
Brews.
Island Views and Road Tan Brews.
Brews.
I don't. Something like that. But
You'll
anyhow,
know when you see it.
you get a little island tour on your way over to the brewery, and they point some things out,
Yeah.
And then you get to the brewery, obviously, and then they give you a flight of beer. You choose from like 12 or 15 different beers they had.
You get to pick 4.
Yep, you pick 4 of those, or
or-
you could upgrade
You could get 8 for for $5.
for an extra $5.
Yeah.
Yep. So,
Trust me, 4 is enough.
and then they give you and then they
Even
give
though
you
they're
some
flights.
snacks.
And they do. They give you like a variety of like sausages. Like there's like a German sausage they give you, an Italian or whatever, and then they give you
little pretzel bites,
bites and some cheese and mustard to dip them in or whatever. And they do have a menu. You're more than welcome to order food off the menu if you choose. That costs extra, but the snacks and the flight of 4 beers are included. And that was not bad. That was $69 per person.
Yeah,
I think
somewhere right around in there.
Yeah. So,
and that wasn't bad.
No, and that's always a good time. Mark is one of the owners there. He's very well informed. He gives everybody who wants it a tour of the brewery, how they make everything, how they brought it in, how they store it, everything. So, if you guys get a chance and you want some, and if you don't drink, they have non-alcoholic stuff on their menu too. They have like 2 or 3 different things that are non-alcoholic on their menu. And you can pick those from the flight for your flight. So it can be whatever you want. But
and that was from the Roatan Brewing Company.
Yes.
So
and they are awesome. Like we said, another good,
very nice place, very good time.
Another good tour.
So then the next last port was Costa Maya, which our first time on land in Costa Maya. We've been on a cruise that went to Costa Maya before, but we're unable to get off the ship due to weather, winds and stuff. They couldn't port, so we got off the ship and we hung out at the pool.
Yeah, so basically this is, in Costa Maya, you don't have a lot of options in the port. The port is small. You have literally, I think, 2 restaurants to pick from, and the pool separates the 2 restaurants. And the pool is free to use. There are shops that line the whole edge of the pool and around, and they do have both of their swimming with the dolphin adventures are right there in the port. But that is pretty much what you're limited to in the port. If you are looking for something more exciting to do, you may need to look for an excursion booked through Royal Caribbean that takes you outside of the port for something different. But we had a good time. We hung out at our cat, one of our cats.
Crazy cat.
So we hung out at the pool because part of our group did the swimming with the dolphins venture there, and we've already swam with the dolphins, so they went ahead and got off and made it on into the port and did their dolphin, and then we met them at the pool. We ended up hanging out there all day. We had a great time. I'm trying to remember our guy's name. Javier?
Yeah, I think Javier.
Yeah,
that might
I
have
think
been
so. Anyway, he was awesome. He told us as long as we were ordering drinks and ordering food that we could sit at that. We had a table right next to the pool, so we basically would just go literally a foot from our chair to the ledge of the pool and sit in it. And he kept bringing us drinks, and he didn't forget about us. Every time he walked by, he would ask if we needed anything. He talked to us about his family and his kids. We asked, we had questions, we asked, and he was awesome. He was really, really nice. So, if you go and you go to it's the main bigger restaurant. It's not the one across the pool. It's the first one when you come into the port. If you go in there and you ask, I'm pretty sure his name was Javier.
Yeah.
Pretty sure. Anyway, he was awesome, but that was another good time. So it is what you make of it. Like I said, if you're just walking around the port and you're outside, it's difficult to say which ports you are technically supposed to wear a mask, even if you are just walking around in the port. But there, as long as you're in the pool, just like at in Cozumel, as long as you are on the beach or in the pool or in the ocean, they did not require. When you went to the bathroom, yes, you had to have it on. The only place I remember them being really strict about it was in the port at Cozumel. If you are outside, put your mask on because they will stop you and tell you to put it on.
Yep. Yep.
So, Mr. Sancho's, they didn't say anything to us. As long as we were outside, they didn't care. But if you went into the bathrooms or into the hallway, then you had to put your mask on. But as long as you were just walking around out on the beach or whatever, they didn't care. So.
No.
And Coco K didn't. Royal Caribbean did not. As long as we were in their port, they did not care. It's like I said, for the most part, it's just common sense. Know ahead of time. You know, I mean, we just played it safe. We always wore them unless we were outside on the beach or in the pool.
Yeah, pretty much.
So.
But yeah, that's that was our ports that we done, and we had a pretty rough sea day on the way back to Miami.
They put the barf bags out. That's always
Yeah.
exciting when you see them strap the bag of barf bags to every set of handrails. It was rocky. I'm not kidding. It was rocky.
Yeah. So eventually we'll get these, you know, vlogs and stuff out, and you'll be able to see, you know, stuff from the ports that we did, stuff from Mr. Sancho's, you know, stuff from the rough sea day. You can see.
That was bad. This had to be one of the craziest cruises for cruising. So we get to Miami the day before we get there. It's like in the 80s. We get there. We stopped in Pompano Beach first, and that was okay. It was in the 70s. It was warm enough. But on cruise day, it was literally in the upper 60s. It was not the warmest day. And then the next day was a full sea day. And it was so windy, you couldn't like, I mean, it wasn't windy enough for them to block off like the levels, but it was windy. You could sit outside and your hair would just whip and stuff was just blowing. It was insane. And then we had 4 or 5 of the most beautiful days, and then coming back home, coming from that storm that had gone through, and we hit the worst, rockiest weather. They had both of the upper decks closed off. The solarium was closed off. The pools were closed off. The hot tubs were closed off. I mean, you were really pretty much confined to being inside. There was no being outside. It was horrible. It was miserable.
Yeah, it's just really windy, and it got really cold. It was, what did they say? It was like in the 30s or something in Miami.
And we were on our way back to Miami.
Yeah, so it was like almost record cold or something for Miami, if not record cold.
First time ever getting off a cruise ship in Miami or Florida that we had to literally wear pants and sweatshirts. We usually get off in shorts and a t-shirt. Oh, yeah, it was cold.
So, but yeah, it wasn't bad. So. I mean, I see a few people come and go on here. So, if anybody has any questions or whatever, you know, let us know, or leave comments on the video if you're watching it later on, and we'll try and answer what we can.
Yeah, and thank you to anybody who is watching. This is our very first live feed. Yeah. We've never done a live feed. We were gonna do it from the cruise ship, but because it was so cold and so windy, we opted not to. Yeah,
we were gonna do that the very first day we got on, and for one, that like I said, they delayed our boarding, so that pushed us back a couple hours, and then it was windy, cold.
Yeah, that was weird too because we were not allowed to board until 2:30, and the rooms were supposed to be all done at 2:30. For some reason, on our floor, the rooms were not done until almost 3. We had our luggage was in the hallway, which is another thing to remember. When you see luggage lined up down the hallway, just start looking to see if yours is there, because they don't put it right in front of your door. Just start looking. And I found all of our luggage and we brought it back to our room, but we had 5:30 dinner time. So it kind of was like get the luggage, get dressed, go to dinner, and then figure out what to do. I mean, we were kind of rushed because we were pushed back, but it was rather chilly the first day and the last day, which was crazy.
Yeah. And we didn't get the internet package,
No.
so our service wasn't very good way out there. You know, I mean, you're so far kind of outside of the city, where the ship's port at. You know, my cell service wasn't that great being out there. So
and it wasn't just our cell carrier, because a couple of people we were with were having issues too. So it wasn't all around. The one thing I don't really care for with Royal Caribbean's app is that they charge you $1.99 per day to use their chat thing, which is crazy to me. But Carnival charges $5 for the app per person for the whole week. Royal charges $1.99 per person, and in order to communicate with anybody on there, they are forced to buy it too. So if you are wanting to chat and keep in touch with people in your group, you're kind of forced to pay it. So we paid it, and then later realized that we found it easier to just use for like in our rooms, we just use the phones in the rooms. Just pick it up and dial your friend's room number. It's a lot easier and and we even used the the house phones, like on the ship when we couldn't find them if we were waiting for dinner or whatever.
Right. But the thing with the chat feature too is you have to have. I've noticed. Well, we noticed that you don't get the message unless you have the app like open on your phone. Nothing would ever come through. You know that you have a message or anything, unless you're on that app, and then it will show up that you had a message. So.
It's not the most convenient thing. Carnival's chat app, I will say, is better, but Royal Caribbean could make theirs better. It would be nice if it was just used like a text like it is on Carnival. But my phone in particular closes apps. After so many minutes, it'll close the app. So if somebody's trying to text me through their app, I don't know it unless I just happen to open up my phone and open up the app. So that was rather difficult. But all in all, we had a great time. We had good weather. We had lots of fun. I don't think we had any issues with any of our food.
No, I mean the food and everything on Royal is always good. We've never really had an issue with that.
No. The one thing we didn't do that I wish we would have done though was eat at Playmakers.
Yeah, that's one thing I did want to. That's one thing I did want to do, but we didn't.
No.
So.
But we did eat at Johnny Rockets. We did eat breakfast in the dining room on the last sea day. We did eat in the main dining room. I think 4 out of the 7 nights or something like that.
Yeah, three or four or something. But
I mean, we had pizza every once in a while for our late night snack.
Yeah, we had the portside barbecue.
Yeah, that was good. That was really good.
Yeah, and it's pretty cheap too.
Yeah,
not
bad.
It's not horribly priced.
No, and they do serve beer in there too. If you would like a beer with your portside barbecue, they do serve beer in there. We found that out. And one of our favorite places, the Park Cafe, they don't set the food out on display like they used to as much. So you just have to remember that they used to have paninis and the little roast beef sandwiches, and you think they don't have that stuff, but they do. You just need to ask for it, because they don't put the boards that used to be up on the back wall in the Park Cafe are gone.
Yeah, there was no menu board or nothing up
but
there,
once you walked past the roast beef station, there's a little case and it says, you can order this, and there was a Cuban in there, and then it says any of our sandwiches can be made into a panini. And So it would have been nice to know that in advance because we were in there and we were kind of disappointed. We were like, oh, they took everything away. This is all they have is the salad bar. No, they have other stuff. They just don't have the menu boards like they used to.
Yeah.
So you just have to look. So,
Yeah.
and we did eat in Windjammer a few times and no issues there. People serve your food. If they don't give you enough on your plate, you just tell them a little more and they give you more. It's not an issue. It's really not.
Yeah.
So
No, it's kind of nice, you know.
Yeah.
It
keeps the hand touching off of stuff and makes it nice, and everybody seemed to be fine with it. Nobody had issues with it. The only other thing I can say that I had an issue with is I don't drink soda, so I drink iced tea, and I'm used to being able to just go in the Windjammer and fill my cup with ice and get some iced tea out of the iced tea dispenser. That is no longer an option. The Windjammer is blocked off. You have to scan your card to get in. You have to go in. You have to wash your hands. Then you can go get the iced tea is already poured. It's already in glasses. So you have to ask for 2 of them, dump them into your cup, and then card your way back out of the Windjammer to get back out. It's a pain. I don't understand because they have water dispensers at the coffee station and they have water dispensers at the Central Park coffee or the Park Cafe.
Yeah.
So why can they not put an iced tea dispenser there? I am having issues with this. So,
some of that stuff doesn't really make sense because you can use the self-serve coffee machine to fill up, make your own coffee. So everybody's touching that.
Yeah, Park Cafe, they have the
water,
the machine that has the 4 things in it, and there was juice and apple juice, orange juice, lemonade, and people are touching that. And then in like the pizza place, they have a water dispenser. So I just don't understand if it's that hard to get iced tea, then really they should change something. That was my one big issue this time, is because I don't drink soda. So I want my iced tea and I couldn't get it. So I wasn't happy.
So.
But other than that.
Yeah. No, but it was a great cruise. Like I said, we felt completely safe. So no issues outside of that. But I think that's about all we really wanted to talk about. And like I said, if you joined us, thanks for joining. And
and hopefully we'll get better at these live chats.
Yeah.
We won't be going on another cruise for almost a whole year. However, we do take day trips certain places. Sometimes we take weekend trips. We take camping trips. We do have some camping video that still needs to be uploaded. We have not done that yet. For those of you who do not know, Jeff and I do this for fun. We both work full time and we are only home on the weekends. So we do this just for fun. We just want to share our experiences and adventures with everybody. So
and it's always fun for us to go back and rewatch our videos and see what we did. And this is, like I said, this is fun for us. So hopefully people like it too. Maybe you get some ideas, or maybe try and show you a little bit of what we do and what's around, and
and in case you can't see, we are the Travel Life.
Yeah, we do get our shirts on.
The Travel Life. And so our next cruise, however, will be in January next year. We are going on the Norwegian breakaway with other vloggers, cruise vloggers, and we are looking forward to that. That is going to be fun.
Yeah, it's going to be a good time.
We've never been on a Norwegian cruise, so we're especially looking forward to that. And we have a few camping trips planned this summer, but other than that, just some day trips this year. We kind of managed to use up vacation time this last year, taking a couple of cruises. So, because we went on the Mardi Gras back in July, August. It's an inaugural cruise. So
yeah. So who knows? Like I said, we'll definitely have some videos and stuff like that to put out. So keep watching for it, and thanks for watching. And like I said, we'll hopefully
hopefully you'll subscribe and end up liking our videos. We are trying, like we said, this is new, but we will try at least maybe once every couple of weeks or something to throw a live out there of something going on. It could be something here local, it could be something in another state. We don't know. We'll find something. Might just be some cruise chat. Like, hey, what
Never know.
put in your suitcase? I
We'll
don't know.
find something to do. So.
But thanks
All right.
for watching tonight.
Yeah,
We appreciate
thanks for
it.
watching. Everybody have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.